What are you whining about? What are you whining about? Hmm? What are you whining about? What? Don't put your foot on that saw. Don't put your foot on that. Let me have it. What are you whining about? What? Come here. Come here. You just want to be petted, don't you? Huh? You just want to be petted. Got the toy? Let me have it. Let me have it. Let go. Good boy. Good boy. Yeah, good boy. Good boy. Toy. You need to quit whining. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Outpost Review. I actually went to the post office today and I picked up a package from one of the subscribers, and this is what I found. This is actually an axe head. The inscription says, I don't know if you could see that, but BBB, which is Bingham's Best Brand. Now, this thing, I've got to tell you, this is the felling axe that I use right here. It's very sharp, and I don't know exactly, it doesn't say how many pounds the head is. I'm assuming it's probably 3-4 pounds, maybe even 5. But this axe head right here probably weighs the same as that axe head and the handle. It's very, very heavy, and I guess you could see it's been well used. All right, and the very tip of it, I don't know if you can see because of that sunlight, but the very tip of it is actually coated or heat treated, and it's still fairly sharp. But you know, I don't have permission to use the name, but I will say I very much appreciate this axe head right here. I will be making a handle for it, probably using dogwood like I've used for all my other handles, because it's such a hard and nice material to use. We've also got some locust around here that, you know, is used a lot in making handles. But this is a company from Ohio that actually closed in 1961. So this axe head is at least 60 years old, because this is 2021 now. It's a new year. By the way, Happy New Year to everyone. So there's no telling, you know, how old it actually is, but it's still in really good shape, and it's still sharp. And, you know, like I say, a little history behind it, because it's been well used. It's a company that's no longer in business now, closed in 1961 out of Ohio. So yeah, I'll be looking forward to whittling out an axe handle for this, and then using this. You know, it's heavy enough. It's not quite as heavy as my maul, but this got some weight behind it, so I imagine this would be a good splitting axe too. So thank you very much for that. So folks, I received today, I told you that I had ordered this radiant barrier from this company called Attic Foil, and they've been in business for quite some time. And you know, I showed you a roll that I've got that I'm going to be using underneath the floor joist. Now, like you know, had a lot of people comment, you know, when I started building the floor, hey, you need to take a look at Boss of the Swamp and see what he did with the bubble wrap. Well, I did, and I thought, you know, I was pretty impressed with the fact that he didn't really seem to have any other insulation in the floor except that bubble wrap. So it does turn the radiant heat, you know, back towards the inside of the home. So the wrap that I've got that I'm going to be putting on underneath my floor, I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to staple it across the face of the floor joist. So I won't have any floor joist even exposed underneath. So hopefully I won't have any radiant loss that actually comes through the floor joist into the underside of the house. Because it will have, the radiant barrier will be totally, when you look up at the floor joist, that's all you're going to see is radiant barrier, because like I said, I'm going to tack it across the face. So when I was thinking about the walls, you know, enclosing the house and putting the siding on, I had mentioned that on my 2x4 walls, what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach this radiant barrier, staple it to the walls. My son's also got me a battery operated stapler coming, because he felt sorry for me using the hand stapler. But anyway, I'm going to attach it to the back side of the 2x4s. Then I'm going to be putting on my horizontal 2x4s, which is what I'm going to use to screw my siding onto. Because in order for this radiant barrier to work, it needs to have a dead airspace. Okay, it lowers the emissivity, which is the transfer, and that allows it to work at its best. So what I'm going to do is, like I said, I will staple this to the back side and put the 2x4s on. That will give me 1.5 inches of dead air space, and then I will put the siding on the outside of that, and then of course on the inside I'll put the insulation in the wall, and then when I finish the inside wall, it'll have 1/2 inch T111 siding on the bottom, pretty much 4 feet, and then drywall on the upper 4 feet. That way I can change colors. So when I was doing some research on what to order for the outside walls, they have what they call a house wrap, but it was only single-sided, which in other words the foil was only on one side, and I wanted something that was double foil to try to reflect radiant heat from the outside in the summertime from the sun, and then the radiant heat on the inside from the wood stove or any other source of heat that I have from the inside to reflect it back in the house. So when I got to looking, they had a fairly new product called Super Foil, and I'll show you what that looks like. This Super Foil has a little bit larger hole in there so that it can breathe better. Now the concerns that I had with putting something on the wall was if I got any moisture trapped behind the sheeting on the inside was it not being able to breathe and allowing it to dry out. So when I got to looking at this and studying on it, I thought, well, you know, it's supposed to only allow the water vapor to escape and not actually the molecule. But when I talked with the company, he said that, you know, if you folded it up and poured water in it, that it would actually leak out a little bit because of the larger holes. Now the one that I'm using underneath, he said that wouldn't happen, it would actually hold water. But he said that this would be okay to use on the outside. That way I didn't have to ship it back, and it would still do what my intentions were, which is the radiant heat. And then, you know, I kind of feel better about the wall being able to breathe a whole lot more, especially, like I said, if it gets any moisture behind it. That's the reason that I'm not going to leave the plastic up there, because it would be just a total barrier and it wouldn't be able to dry out if there was any moisture. From my research, they say it's okay to use plastic, but it has to be on the very inside of the 2x4 wall. It can't be towards the outside. So I think that this right here will help stop, you know, any water from coming in and still allow it to be able to breathe. Not that I'm going to get any, you know, water behind the siding, but, you know, in the event that something was to happen, it should still be able to breathe. Now, also, in talking with the company, they have a brand new product out that is called Bluetex. Now what this is it comes in 2 mil, 3 mil, and 6 mil. I'll show you that here. Here's what the end looks like. This one right here is the 6 mil. This one is the 3, and this one is the 2. It's single-sided. In other words, it's got foil on one side, and then it's got insulation or foam on the other side. And of course, it's just got a backing on it right there. Hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed that episode of the Outpost Review. I've actually got 2,000 square feet of this radiant barrier to go on the house. I think I've got a little bit more than I need, but I wasn't really sure, so I figured extra couldn't hurt. I did get that plywood put up underneath the eaves, so I will be trying to, I've still got my 2x4s that I've got to burn those, and I've got to put that tongue and linseed oil on that. But I'm actually ready to start doing the siding. I'll have to pull that siding out here. I'll have to burn some of it. I don't know how many pieces I'll have to count so that I can actually have those ready to go. Hopefully I can do a section in a day. I will cut the plastic out. I'll put the 2x4 faceboard up in there like I mentioned earlier. Then the siding, I'll have to get, you know, like I said, get it prepared so that I can put my horizontal 2x4s and hopefully close that up in one day, because this does have holes, and I'm not sure if we had a blowing rain if anything would penetrate it or not. Not sure, but it says that just the vapor would go through there, not the molecule itself. But now these are extra large holes, so like I say, I'm not sure, but I wanted it again to be able to breathe. So once I get that up there, I want to be able to close it in. I'll actually go back later on and put my battens in, but because I don't think I'm going to have that much shrinkage since we don't have that much sunlight. But if we do, I'll have to start putting those battens on, because if it starts opening up, I don't want water to get behind it. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and close this down here. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I know that this one was a little different too. Not a whole lot to it, but primarily just, you know, one item. But this is a very important item, and it's important that I get this put on the cabin as I start closing it in. So hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you so much for your support on this channel and our main channel as well. We hope that everyone has a great afternoon. Take care. We look forward to seeing you back up at the Outpost again next time.